Hi there, Craig here, product manager at Broker Engine. A lot of brokers are using support teams to help them, get themselves off the tools, and so brokers can focus on their high value activities. And so they'll be leveraging support teams such as client service managers, credit analysis, data entry clerks, settlement officers, and so on, to help them deliver a great client experience to their clients, help them avoid errors, but importantly also allowing the broker to be freed up to work on the business and focusing on their client on their core responsibilities and activities. So what I want to do today is just show you how we do that inside of Broker Engine using something we call team roles. So team roles, firstly what you can do is you can jump into settings and jump into team roles. From here you can create what team roles you would like to have. So for example, I've got 3 created here, called one loan processor, one for CSM, and one for post-settlement. You could rename those, settlement officers, credit analysis, whatever you want to call them. You can rename those. You can create your own roles, etc., etc. So step 1 is create the roles that make sense in your practice. For many of you, it might just be one. You might just have one, VA, so one loan processor. Others might have, multiple different roles in their practice. Either way, Broker Engine would scale through that growth. So firstly, create your role. Then what you can do is on any deal, you can then add in the roles. So for example, if I open up Darren Lockyer here, you'll see that we actually have under roles, we've actually already added the 3 roles on the deal. So we've assigned loan processor to Craig Vaughan, we've assigned John Smith as the CSM, and we've assigned Taryn as the post-settlement officer who will manage everything to do with the settlement and reviews and so on. So step 1 is you can create the role. Step 2, you can assign them to the role. And then step 3 is you can now go, okay, when a deal moves into settlement, how do I get everything assigned? So I'm going to jump into workflow really quickly here, and I'm going to show us an example workflow for stage settlement. So at the moment, the name of the workflow is called settlement, and it triggers when the deal moves into settlement. And you'll see here that we're going to set step 1 in the workflow is to set some key dates. But then importantly, step 2 is we want an email created to congratulate the client on settlement. And what we'll see here is the email actually comes from the CSM. So what does that mean? In this case, if we trigger the workflow for Darren Lockyer, the email is going to come from, in this case, CSM is John Smith. So the email will be created and come from John Smith. The next step in the workflow is set some more dates. Then there's a task to do a settlement checklist. Let's get the repayment details and so on. So the task will be automatically created and it will be assigned to the loan processor. So in this case, the loan processor is Craig, so the task would automatically be assigned to Craig. Once Craig marks that as complete, there will be another email here, again from the CSM who's managing the relationship. It could come from the broker, it could come from anyone, right? But the point here is you can set up your workflow and your perfect experience on settlement so that all the tasks are correctly assigned to the right people. So you're not having to micromanage your team and so on and so forth. And you can obviously make more tasks and so on. So that's how easy it is to sort of build into your workflow, having tasks and division of labor there. And what I'll do is I'm just going to publish that. I'm going to show you that actually happen in real time. So let's take this deal for Darren Lockyer and we'll move Darren into settlement. And what we'll see is that workflow will now trigger. And the first thing is there's an email created and it's to the client and it's coming from John Smith. Remember, John Smith is the CSM, so it's automatically being selected to come from John Smith to Brad Pitt, and here is the content of the email. Of course, I can now make some edits to the email. I can, how was the weekend, how's the move going, and then I can send that email using that template. Once then we've got a task here to complete the settlement checklist. Now, you might recall that the task has been assigned automatically to Craig Vaughan, who was the loan processor. So Craig Vaughan will now complete, that'll be assigned to Craig, and Craig will get a notification to say, hey, you've got a new task there to do. Once that task is marked as complete, there will be an email created again, as you saw in the workflow, to send the client advice to the client, hey, here's all your payment details and so on. And here it is here. And as you can see, again, the email has come from the CSM, which in this case is John Smith. You can make some edits here, make any changes to your final template, before you click the send button. And attached to that is a nice little advice document with repayment details and so on. So that's how you can use Broker Engine and workflow to ensure that, you know, when your deals flow through the stages, you can deliver that great client experience, tasks, emails, everything automatically assigned to the right people, and to deliver that outcome for you and your business. All right, Craig here. Anything that sort of piques your interest there, please jump onto the demo there, brokerengine.com.au /demo. Bye for now.